been live for 3 minutes and I've already started yawning. How is that going to fare for the rest of the stream? I do wonder. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, how's it going? I hope you are all doing well today. Or if not, I hope you're at least doing somewhat decent, because that's good enough sometimes. And yes, see, now here's the thing. I did initially plan to have some semblance of a schedule out for this week. I truly did. Even, you know, even if I'm gonna be away for like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I wanted to at least have some schedule for at least maybe Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah, so that didn't happen. I'm very sorry about that. I've had to do a lot of things this week. I've been unexpectedly busy and filled with responsibilities. And oh my gosh, this is so I don't know whether that's funny or sad, but I've been so tired recently. Like, not just like, oh, I'm like so tired. Like, I'm literally like, I'm about to fall asleep at 6 p.m. tired. Like you've heard me yawning in these past like few streams the past few weeks, but like this week especially has been really bad. I've been really sleepy. So yesterday I was so planning on streaming yesterday, but somehow, so I got a text from my mother. It was like, Stories, dinner's ready. This was around 6 p.m. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll be down a little bit. I was just kind of like falling in and out of sleep and on my bed. I'm like, oh, maybe I'll just go down for like a quick nap and then I'll wake up all refreshed and then I'll go downstairs, have some dinner. I don't know if this can be considered a nap anymore. When does it stop being considered a nap and start being considered sleep? Because I didn't wake up until 5 hours later. That is the longest nap I've ever had in my life. I do not know how I slept from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. uninterrupted. I woke up and I was like, what happened? What time is it? I look at my phone, I'm like, 10:57, what do you mean? I missed dinner! I wasn't even that hungry though, but I was just like, how did I sleep for 5 hours? I was dead to the world. Like, I maybe heard my mom like open the door to check on me, but like, because she probably was like, where's Stories? I thought she said she was coming home for dinner. Is she dead? I was not dead. I was just dead tired. But yeah, so then I woke up. I was like awake from like 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. And then I went back to sleep. And then I woke up at like, I got out of bed at like 10 this morning. So I've had a lot of sleep in these past 24 hours and I'm still tired. I don't know why. But yeah, so that's where I'm at right now. Most of my busyness is due to actual business, but then I'm also been sleeping before I actually need to sleep or should be sleeping. So yeah, it's been a weird week, guys. It's been a really weird week. I don't mean that in a bad way though. It's just been a lot of things have been happening. A lot of good things, but just a lot of things. And I'm like tired. I'm tired. But I've got a fun weekend coming up and I'm really excited. I've been looking forward to this for a really long time, so. Stories of Sweepy is not screwing around. No, Sweepy is not. Sweepy is coming in full force. Like seriously, like 6 p.m. rolls around and I'm like, oh wow, is it time for bed already? It's like, no! No! You can go to bed at 6 p.m. when you're 70! Not however old you are now! Ay. So... yeah, I get to go to Anime North. This is like, I don't go to a lot of conventions. There's like a few like ones that I'll go to throughout the year, give or take, but Anime North has been one that I've been going to for a very, very long time, since I was in high school. I think, was it my first convention? Might have been. I'm trying to think. I can't remember, but it's at least one of my first. It is a long-standing tradition with me and my friends to go to Anime North, and yeah, it's fun. It definitely has its flaws. Especially last year. Oh god. But yeah, I think it's really fun. I have some good memories there. I met some cool people. I get to do some fun things there. So, yeah, like singing tomorrow. I get to sing on stage tomorrow in front of a set amount of people. I don't know how many people are going to show up, but you know what? You get an excuse to sing Argonavis on stage. So you know what? That's already a win for me. I've already won. I've already won the weekend. So you slept uninterrupted for 18 hours? How? That's crazy. That's like a mini coma at that point. That's just called being unconscious. Oh my god. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this weekend. I'm not really sure what to expect, because okay, I'm gonna give a rundown of what happened last year, because last year was pardon my French, but it was a shit show. It was an absolute shit show. Oh boy. So like this convention is huge. It's by no means small. It's something is happening every single year, but for some reason, probably a bunch of reasons, but no one certain given reason. It was just a bunch of things that happened to create this clusterfuck. But something went completely wrong last year. Like the lineups last year were the worst anyone has ever seen. Like I cannot even fathom how people stood in line for like literal hours, not even to like get into any of like the convention hall or like the dealer's room or any of the panels or guests or anything like that. The lineup was just to get their passes. Some people didn't even make it into the convention on the Friday. Many of those people were Friday only passes. Here's the thing, you can like buy like, you know, single day passes, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or you can buy like a whole weekend pass. The people that were supposed to, you know, be able to get in on the convention on Friday weren't able to, because the lines were just, they were insane. They were so long and so disorganized. I don't know what happened, but they messed up. They really messed up last year. It was bad. So what happened was, to make up for that, they rolled over the Friday only passes over to Saturday, so the Friday onlys could still come to the convention. But here's the thing, Saturday is the busiest day, because first of all, you got the Saturday onlys that are coming, and then you have the all weekenders coming for like the entire weekend. Saturday's a given. Now you have the Friday onlys coming in on the Saturday. Like, I understand the sentiment, but also, oh god, it was a disaster. Not to say there weren't some fun things that happened, but let's just say the line situation, line con, was horrendous. I saw the ambulance pass by several times, people on stretchers, people dehydrated. It was bad. It was really bad. They had random cappings of like people in different like panels. Like there was that what was it? There was this one VTuber panel. I can't remember which one it was, but me and my one friend, we were gonna go see it, and they literally we had a giant line behind us, and there was maybe like 2 or 3 people in front of us. They let in one more person, and then they're like, "Sorry, we're cut off. We're capped here. We can't let any more people in." And it's just like, you didn't think to do that before this giant line formed? Like, you didn't think to count it out and be like, "Sorry, this is as many people as we can have in the hall. Please don't wait in line here because you won't be able to get in." Like, people stood in line for like an hour for this The disorganization was just the best it's ever been, to put it nicely. But yeah, I mean, that was like the first one that they'd held after like the pandemic, so to an extent I can understand how disjointed it was, but it doesn't excuse it. And also, like, it was also held at a different time, so it's usually held the last weekend of May. Ergo, like, you know, this upcoming weekend, the 26th to 28th. For some reason, they held it in July last year. Now, what's wrong with July, you might ask? Well, nothing really, except that it's much hotter outside. The sun is out for a much longer time, causing many more people to faint and be dehydrated. And, okay, this... Not that I'm against, you know, children coming to an anime convention, like, that's fine. Like, you know, just go out with your family, have fun, whatever. But there were so many strollers with, like, tiny children. Like, ages ranging from, like, fetus to, like, 6 years old. So many children. And it, like, it's already busy there. But you add, like, the cargo of a stroller in line and in the convention hall in the dealer's room where there's not much room, you can't go anywhere. You really could not go anywhere. There was no space to do anything. Like, yeah, it was interesting. It was definitely interesting last year. So yeah, so we'll see how it is this year. We'll definitely see. I mean, just given the fact that we're back to the regular scheduled time instead of in July, that's already giving me a little bit extra hope that, you know, things aren't going to be as horrendous as last year. I love you, Anime North, but last year was kind of bad. I'm sorry. But yeah, I'll just take it as it is. Like, it is what it is, and you know what, I'm gonna have my own fun there anyways. Like, again, I've already won the weekend by singing an Argonava song on stage, so you know what, at that point, whatever else can happen, as long as it's nothing dangerous or fatal or bad. Yeah, anyways. The natural enemy to weebs. Sunlight! Hiss! Ah! Oh god, that reminds me, I need to check if I have sunscreen. I don't want to get burned this year. Ugh, okay, last year I got so dehydrated and sunburned, it was bad. It was bad. So I gotta make sure that doesn't happen this year. Let the anime fans become parents. I'm gonna break a bombshell to you. It doesn't take much to become parents. It doesn't take much to become parents. I mean, there's much to do to prepare to become parents, but like, you know, I'm not gonna get more into that. Was my personal highlight? Let me think. It was... Okay, it wasn't the first year I went. It was the second year I went. So the second year I went, so there's this, so kind of tying in with the performance I'm doing tomorrow. So there's this, the singing competition. It's called Anime North Idol. And it's like, it's a singing competition. It's like, you know, you get up on, you audition first. You audition in front of a panel of judges, and they, you know, judge you on like your song choice, your singing, blah, 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 whatever. And then they pick like, what, like 10 to 12 finalists or whatever. And then there's a big show on like Saturday, the finalist competition. They get up on a big stage, they sing in front of everybody, and then they're judged by another panel of judges, completely different to the audition judges. And then it's kind of like, you know, like any sort of idol show ever where they're like, you know, everyone performs, they get judged on, and then the winner is announced at the end and stuff. And Guess who won that year? Yeah, so so yeah, the show that we're doing, it's a Anime North Idol like winners show. So like all the past winners from over the years are all gonna like sing songs and stuff on stage. So yeah, that's cool. I still have the trophy. I think it's on my shelf somewhere. It's like a really cool glass trophy. I dropped it like as soon as I got it though. Like I was getting my friend's cards, go home, and I dropped it on the floor. It didn't break though, it's very sturdy, but I did drop it. Oh god, but yeah, that's my fondest memory of Anime North. And I've had more fun moments too, like I used to do a lot of cosplay. I don't anymore because I'm not very good at it, and I got extremely lazy, and I have nowhere to put any of it anymore. So I just let my friends do the cosplaying. They're the experts, and I'm just like, ooh, you guys are so cool, wow, you know, that sort of thing. But yeah, I used to do some cool cosplays. I cosplayed as what was it, Lucina from Fire Emblem one year. That was fun. That was really fun. That was one I really got involved in. Like I even made like my own falchion, like the sword, and I painted the boots and everything, and did my own accessories for the crown and like the shoulder pad thingies and stuff. And yeah, it was just really cool. That was a really fun one. I really liked that cosplay. That was good. Justin Bieber won, didn't you? Yeah, you guessed it. You guessed it. Jay Biebs won himself, the man of the hour. I know, it's a very sturdy trophy. Like it is solid, absolutely solid. That's like an immovable object. Unstoppable force versus immovable object. And it survived. Yeah, Lucina's cool, right? I think I also picked her because like I really like her character, but I also had this really long blue wig that I used from when I cosplayed Sonoda Umi from Love Live. I was like, let's reuse this. I've already got it. Let's kind of mix up the bangs a little bit and comb out all the tangles. Oh god, there's so many tangles. That's another reason why I don't really do cosplay much anymore. Combing out wigs is the worst thing I've ever experienced. It is. That's why you gotta really take care of your wigs. Gotta make sure you brush them out every now and then, because if you don't, they're just gonna be full of stress and tangled despair, and you just don't want to deal with it. But then if you try cutting out the stuff, it's like maybe you could get away with a little bit, but you can't cut out big chunks because it's wig hair. It's obviously not gonna grow back. So you gotta like, you know, detangle, but you can't be too rough with it, because if you like stretch it out too much, then it's gonna look frizzy, and you can't really cut that off because again, it's gonna show. So like I remember I spent like an entire evening once combing out 2 pigtail like clip-ons, not even the main wig, it was clip-ons to the main wig. The main wig was like a short-haired like short wig or whatever, because like the character had like long purple pigtails. Like it was like purple pigtails, so I couldn't just put my hair in pigtails, it wouldn't look right. But yeah, so I was just standing, I spent like 5 hours just combing out these 2 pigtail clip-ons, and I was dying. My wrists were dying, my face was dying, my nose was dying from all of the, what was it, like the detangler spray. I used this like kids detangler spray that I had when I was younger. I bought it just because I'm like, hey, if it can detangle my hair, maybe it can detangle wig hair. And it kind of worked. Not well enough, because it obviously still took me 5 hours, but who knows how long it would have took me if I didn't use it, so I don't know. But yeah, wigs, man. Choose short-haired wigs. Don't go for the long-haired wigs. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Yeah, wig combing will test your very will, your will to continue on. Like, is this worth it? Do I really need to do this cosplay tomorrow? Do I really need to go to the convention at all? Can I not just lay in bed and just pretend I don't exist anymore? Like, they're like, no, I was motivated to finish the rest of this cosplay. This is the last step. I'm almost there. And when I wear it tomorrow, I'm gonna look amazing. I'm gonna feel amazing. And people will ask me for pictures. And I'm just gonna be awesome being my favorite character. And it's gonna be worth it. And then you still have to keep doing. You're like, oh, I wish I didn't have to do this. You know. Oh, I'm sweaty. I'm so sweaty. That's another thing. This week I've been like so tired and I've been so sweaty. Like the weather's gotten warmer outside, but like I am just really sweaty for some reason. Like I am just sweating all the time and it sucks. Like I just constantly need to be cold. Like I usually don't really care too much if I have like a hot coffee in the morning, but especially this week, I've been opting out to make cold versions of all of my hot drinks, which takes longer, but it makes me feel better because I'm like cool from the inside out. But it's like, it's so much more work. I'd rather just slap some milk in my coffee and just drink it. But that makes me sweaty. It's the goose of despair. Oh my god. Oh my. Yan. Ooh, what is it with detangling things that just makes us question our will to live? Like, why does detangling stuff have to be so taxing on our souls? Why does it have to be so difficult? Like, it's such a simple task, detangle, but then you get to the actual practice of detangling the things and you're like, can I not? Will we survive if they stay like this? Like, how impertinent, how necessary is it that I need to detangle this thing without it being detrimental to myself or anybody else? Yeah, the real question is, how does it get tangled in the first place? And how? How and 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 how? Like, why does life happen to the point that things just get so mixed up in each other that you gotta physically unmix them up? Like, why is that necessary? Why is that necessary? Like, I truly don't think that it is. Like, the wires did not have to get like that jumbled up together. The wig hairs did not have to get that messed up just by walking. Like, that's just my personal opinion, but you know, they're inanimate objects. They do whatever compels them because they can't do anything themselves. But I mean, you know. Why is there in a hospital? Yes, someone's life will depend on these lines. Oh my god! We're having a raven here, part 2. Oh no. Oh no. Suddenly I feel bad. Oh no. Oh no. no. Yikes. Yikes. What is it with me and like hospitals and like the worst timing? Oh my god. Oh man, my cheeks hurt. My cheeks hurt from laughing too much. There's no way I can redeem myself now. I'm 0 for 2 right now. I'm 0 for 2 right now. Oh man, oops. Sorry, I just hit my microphone with my headphones. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. There. It's okay. I'm so sorry. It's confirmed Stories doesn't like hospitals. I mean, who does like hospitals? Like, let's think about that. Who really likes hospitals? Like, I mean, they certainly do good things, but like, the reasons for being in hospitals are usually not good ones. Well, we all have our tastes and our preferences. You do you. They're very nostalgic. Oh, interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, I wouldn't say that I have like bad memories being in hospital. Like, it's just, you know, you get hurt, you go to the hospital. Someone you love gets hurt or gets sick, you go to the hospital, visit them. You know, that sort of thing. It's not like anything like, you know, tragic or anything. I do remember, I think, this is the stupidest reason I ever went to the hospital. I was a super small babby child star, and I was at one of our neighbors' houses. Like, it was like we were having dinner over there, like my family was having dinner with their family, whatever, and me and the neighbor kids, whatever, we were like in the living room, we were reading a book, and I was really close to the page for some reason. They turned the page, and I don't know how this happened, but my eyelashes flipped inwards, and they were like tucked inside my eyelid, and I was so confused, and it actually really hurt. I was like, I don't know what's going on. I thought I'd like cut my eye because I was like so close to the page. I thought I got like a paper cut. I was just in so much pain, so my mom just like rushed me to ER, and then literally we didn't even get into like the ER itself. We went to like the front desk, and they flipped my eyelid up. Like, you're all better, like, like, I remember being so panicked in that moment because I was like, what is happening? But then they literally just were like, okay, let's see. They just popped it. They just popped my lashes out from under my eyelid. And they're like, yeah, you're fine. I'm like, okay, thank you. So I mean, I definitely have silly moments in hospitals like that, for example. Oh god. Yeah. Yeah. Stories of eyelashes. Yeah. So, yeah, that's the silliest reason I've ever been in the hospital. Let me think. I was also in the hospital. I remember I got like, I used to have like this back thing. Like my spine was actually like it was like tilted like 26 degrees to like the right or something like that. So like they wanted to like make sure that I wouldn't like get any further than that, because you know that would cause me some back issues. So I remember going to the hospital to like get x-rays for my spine. So that was an interesting time. I also went to the hospital because I broke my wrist snowboarding. Have I told that story before? I think I have, but it always seems to be one of the stories that I always tell because I can just remember it so vividly from like start to finish. It's just one of those things where it's just like, I still can't believe that happened the way it did. It's just so fun to tell. I just really enjoy waking up from being sedated. Well, that's certainly a reason I wasn't expecting. Okay. I mean, you know. Yep, that's certainly a reason. I'm sorry, hold on, give me a moment. Oh my god. Woo. Woo. Okay. It really isn't that funny, but for some reason that just caught me really off guard. I think a part of my laughter is a disbelief. Okay. Okay. Ooh. Oh my god. I was gonna say something in response to that, but I started laughing too hard. I think the only time I've ever been sedated. What a great sentence. The only time I've ever been sedated was when I got my wisdom teeth out. That was a weird experience because I remember this wasn't at the hospital. This was at like a specific like dental surgical place or whatever. And the part that hurt the most, funnily enough, was them trying to stick the IV to put in the sedation in my veins. So what happened, this is gonna sound kind of gross, spoilers, warning if you guys don't like needles or medical things or whatever, tune this out. Yeah, keep yourself safe. But so what happened was, they had like an IV drip bag or whatever and was gonna like deliver the sedation into my bloodstream, whatever. So I didn't have to take anything orally or whatever, it just it was right into my bloodstream. So this was a point in my life where I was still severely dehydrated on a regular basis. I did not hydrate when I was younger and it bit me in the ass. So I make sure to hydrate now. But yeah, it was to the point that I was so dehydrated, my veins were so tiny, they could not find a vein to put the IV into. They poked my arms several times each, trying to find a vein on either arm, and I'm just like, can you guys stop, please? They finally found it on like their billionth try on my left arm. But yeah, that was like, again, the most painful part. I don't remember anything else. Like they kind of just like, okay, let's get ready for the surgery, whatever. And then next thing I know, I'm waking up and I'm in a wheelchair. I didn't even know I was moved from the seat. I just woke up and I'm like, what's going on? My mom was there, the nurse was there, and I was like, oh, she's waking up, and I'm like, hi, how's it going? Now, I wasn't like, here's the thing, like, I'm gonna preface this, I've never been drunk before, but I would assume that if I ever did, I would just be the sleepy drunk, because waking up from the sedation, I just wanted to go back to sleep. Like, I wasn't loopy, I wasn't like, oh, this is so fun. Like, no, like, that was not what was happening to me. That's what happened to my older brother, but that's not what happened to me. We got home and I slept. I was the most boring, woken up, sedated person you will ever meet. Like, I didn't do anything. I just slept more. All I wanted to do was sleep. I'm sure after that I slept for 18 hours. But yeah, like, I'm so boring. Like, you don't find anything interesting with me after I wake up from sedation because I just want to go back to sleep. It's like, put me down again. I want to go back for another like 18-hour nap. Don't bother me. Okay, yeah, so that's the end of that story. So yeah, so that's the thing. If you're not hydrated enough, here's a PSA to hydrate, because if you're not hydrated enough, your veins will not be large enough for medical people to find them. So hydrate, dang it. So don't have to hurt your arms trying to, you know, poke needles in them too many times. That's also happened when, like, you know, like I got to get like blood tests done. They're like, where's the vein? I'm like, not again. I think I just have small veins too, because like I'm super hydrated, but when I got a blood test done, like they were still having trouble finding it. And this was like last year, so I was very hydrated last year, let me tell you. So that one just might be a me issue, but I think that's also just a thing. Like, if you're not hydrated, your veins will get smaller. So, you know, hydration, more liquid, more, you know, liquids into the body. Yay! Expansion, you know, that sort of thing. I'm not a doctor. Prefacing, I'm not a doctor. I'm not medical in any way, shape, or form. I didn't go to school for any of this. Don't listen to me. I'm here for entertainment purposes only. Mother, I require the sleepy weepy juice. Mother, please, the sleepy weepy juice. I just get I get like a room, like a background room asset, and then I get like a desk, and on that desk is just like a can of sleepy weepy juice with a curly straw and a little umbrella. Am I gonna write that down? No. But I'm thinking about it. Oh my god. What's the most hurt I've ever been? Probably when I broke my wrist. That was a time. Because like that's like okay, here's the thing. I used to play like house league soccer when I was in my younger child days. And I've sprained both my ankles at least twice. I think my right ankle I sprained at least 3 or 4 times. My left ankle I sprained about 2 times, I think. But yeah, I sort of kind of got used to it after a while, which isn't good. I need to do some ankle strengthening exercises, I think. I mean, those hurt, but like after, like as soon as like I know when I sprained my ankle at this point, I'm like, it's like, shit, here we go again. But when I broke my arm, I'd never experienced anything like that before. So part of the pain was also just being very confused and just like, what happened? Like, okay, let me tell the story of how I broke my arm snowboarding. And we start our story during an inconspicuous March break, which is just a week in March where we have no school, so we're like, woo, let's go skiing. And we start off with a small stories, well, not super small, but, you know, smaller stories, deciding that she's going to be a little bit of a daredevil and go off of a medium-sized jump on a ski hill. And she goes up pretty high. Her parents are like, oh my gosh. Her brothers are like, oh my gosh. And she lands very well. Unfortunately, her skis cannot take the impact of the landing, and she basically breaks one clean in half. So, I I have to kind of like shuffle up the hill. Like I luckily wasn't down the hill very far. We were still up where like the lifts were and stuff at the top of the mountain. So I just kind of shuffled up the, the part of the hill that I went down, and I just kind of sat there and I was just like, well, I can't really go skiing anymore. So, it's either that night or the next day, I can't remember, but I was just like, oh man, I gotta use like rent, because it was still like early in the week, so we still had a lot of like ski days left. So I was like, shoot man, I don't want to use rental skis. Skis suck because they're like heavy and they're not cute and stuff, and I was just like, I was not looking forward to using rentals. And then I had a thought. I was like, well, since I'm gonna be using rentals anyways, why don't I try to learn how to snowboard? And I bring this up to my parents, and my mother still to this day will just be like, as soon as you said that, I had a gut feeling, I knew something about that wasn't right. But you know, she listened to my reasoning, so she's like, okay, yeah, sure, let's get you signed up for some snowboard lessons. I was like, yes, let's go. So I was really excited. I basically was like, I had like a personal, well, I don't want to say personal, but it was a one-on-one snowboarding lesson. So I was just me and an instructor. Like as a personal lesson. So so yeah, while my family was off skiing away in the mountains, I was on the bunny hill falling on my butt several times. Like the fact that I didn't break my ass, I'm still surprised to this day. Like I think about it and I'm like, I can still feel the pain of landing on my butt. Oh, it's bad, but eventually I get the hang of it. So there's two sessions in this lesson. There's the morning practice and then there's the afternoon practice. So I was only gonna be doing like maybe like just like the 1 day of lessons, maybe a second day if things have gone well, and I guess if not, then I would just rented skis and then be on my merry way. So morning lessons are finished. I meet up with my family for lunch. Things are going pretty well. I've gone up and down the bunny hills. I'm learning how to turn and how to like strap my boot on and get it off and all that stuff and get back up when I fall. And I'm like, yeah, this is really fun. My butt hurts, but I'm having fun. Let this be a lesson. Quit while you're ahead. So I go back for the afternoon lesson. We go down the bunny hill a few more times, and then my instructor was like, okay, you seem to be doing really good. So let's go up the hill onto one of the green runs, which a green run is like, it's on the main hill, like the main mountain, but it's like the easiest runs that you could do. Which I personally like just because, like, you know, I'm not super like, hey, let's do like the 90-degree drop mountain of death or whatever. Like all the dull black diamonds have like the most ominous names. It's like like Death Valley or like I don't know what's one that I saw recently. Like I don't know. They have like the most ominous names. So I guess even if you don't know what a black diamond is, if you see that, you're like, I don't think I want to go down Death Mountain. I'm gonna go over to Happy Sunshine Valley, like that sort of thing. So. So I was like, okay, yeah, sure, let's go down one of like the green runs or whatever. Like I've been down in the green runs a bunch of times on skis, so let's try it on a snowboard. So I get up the lift, get up the hill, it's easy enough. Get off the lift, easy enough. I've fallen off the lift a few times on skis. It can happen. It's very sad, very funny. But I get everything together. I strap my boot in, and then we're like, oh, okay, we're off. And then we go down the hill, and we're like going, woo, woo. And I fall several times, and I'm having a good time. I'm like, you know, I'm just doing my thing. I'm just like, this is great. I'm having a great time. My butt hurts so bad. There's gonna be like a giant bruise, but I'm having a good time. And then we get to, so there's like a part where like it's kind of flat, or like it's kind of like it's a shorter part of the run, and then it converges to where all the runs like end up, and then it's like the bottom of like the hill, and then there's like all the lifts that go up back up the mountain and stuff. I was on that kind of flat plain part, and I should mention again, we're skiing in March, so it's still pretty cold, but it's warm enough that the consistency of the snow has become that of packing snow. It's not like white fluffy snow that, like, you know, you can just like brush through easily or whatever. It's like packing snow. You can make a good old snowball out of it, which means things can't go through it so easily. So unbeknownst to me, I'm just going along this straight lane part, this very, like, you know, unassuming part of the run, which should have been the easiest part because there's no hill, there's no downwards or anything to dodge or whatever. It's just literally going straight. I'm just going straight along, and I'm like, do. There's trees beside me, snow's underneath me, my instructor's in front of me. I'm like, I got this. And there's one part where I'm feeling a little unsteady. I can feel kind of like the bumpiness of like the sticky snow underneath my board. And then all of a sudden, I find myself looking up at the sky. The sky is just like a white, fluffy cloud of snow and just cloudiness. I'm just looking up at the sky and I'm like, what? And then I realize I'm on my back. I have fallen backwards. And I'm like, huh, that's weird. How did that happen? And then, you know, I attempt to, you know, get up. And then I realized something is wrong. Something is very wrong. And then I kind of just, it doesn't click at first. I'm like trying to figure out, why can't I not get up? And then it hits me. I can't move my left arm. Like, I just can't move it. It is like, it's kind of like at a, like, I would say, it's not like fully extended. It's kind of like at like a 90-degree angle beside my head, palm facing upwards. So I'm just like on my back. My arms are kind of splayed out. My left arm is kind of in that 90-degree angle next to me. And I'm like, I can't move my arm. I can't move my left arm. And like, so I couldn't feel any pain at that point. But I just couldn't move it for some reason. It might have been like the shock or something like that, but I just couldn't move it. And I think there was also some adrenaline going through me at that point because, again, I couldn't feel any pain. I was just confused. I was just like, what's happening? And I guess like at some point my instructor, like he, you know, I guess he'll occasionally look back to see if I'm like, you know, falling or whatever. So I guess at that point he like looked back and I just hear him call out, "Are you okay?" And in my strongest yelling voice to respond back to my now probably worried instructor seeing me just lying lifelessly on the ground, I say this. No! So then he immediately just like starts to come back over to me or whatever, and like he's like kind of assessing like what's going on, and that's when the pain sets in. Oh, no. The pain was so bad. It was so bad that I started to shake from how bad it hurt. And because I was shaking, that made my arm hurt more. And because my arm was hurting, it made me shake more. So it was just like a really bad like loop of like bad happening. So I just wasn't in a really good spot right there. I was in pain and scared and just not having a good time. So he pulls up like his walkie-talkie and he like gets like the ski patrol people to like come down or whatever. They bring this cool looking toboggan thing and they like strap me in on like a blanket and they like, you know, buckle me in, make sure I'm like all, you know, tucked in and stuff. I'm not gonna fly out of the toboggan, which would have been so fun if I wasn't in intense pain. I would have been like, yes, this is great. But you know, I'm literally like, part of my body is in intense pain, and I'm like, it's like I just want to get out of this. I just want to go home. Keep in mind, my family is somewhere on the mountain, just having the time of their life skiing, not knowing what's going on with me. So they eventually get me down like the hill or whatever, and like they kind of like, you know, ski me down the hill. Like they have me in like the toboggan's behind the person. They like kind of ski down the hill, and I noticed as I was like going down, I look over to my left, I see somebody else who's also a snowboarder in the same toboggan as I was coming down the hill, and that's when it hit me. I'm like, oh, this was not a good idea. This was not a good idea. So I make it down the hill. I'm just sitting waiting for my parents. They're trying to call my parents now. I should say we're in a different province, skiing. So when the caller ID shows up on your phone, it looks like a spam caller. So I called my mother several times trying to get a hold of her. She looks at this number and she doesn't answer because she's like, I don't know what this number is, and she just like ignores it. But then she realized after, you know, multiple times that she saw this number, I'm like, ooh, okay, maybe I should pick this up. She's like, hello? It's like, hi, is this the mother of so-and-so? I'm like, yes, speaking. He's like, hi, so we have your daughter at the base of the mountain. She broke her arm, or she's like she's hurt herself. So yeah, I kind of brought the ski day to a rattling halt, a startling halt. So my family comes to join me down at the base of the mountain, and then we go to like the on-site clinic, emergency clinic. They take x-rays of my arm, still in intense pain, and it is discovered that I have fractured my left wrist. How joy! So, yeah, I didn't do any more skiing or snowboarding for the rest of the week. My arm was in a sling for like most of the week, and then I finally got to take it out. And yeah, I was in a cast for like 6 to 8 weeks. I had 3 different casts. I had like the initial one that they did at the on-site ER, which was pretty crappy, and then the second one was done at the hospital in my region, my city, which was also kind of crappy because it wasn't tight enough. I could almost slide my arm out of the cast, which I know you shouldn't be able to do. Then the third one, they actually did properly. They kind of shaped it to like the shape it was supposed to be to heal, and it was like super tight to my arm, so it's like that's a cast. And then I finally got it off, and I was just like, wow, my arm is so skinny. Ugh. But yeah. So yeah, that's the story of how I broke my arm skiing or snowboarding. My favorite part though, but one of the parts that I found very funny though afterwards was, I was still in elementary school at this time, and so like the first day of class or whatever, back from March break, we were doing like attendance or whatever, and then like the question of the attendance was like, oh, just tell us what you did over the March break. And it got to me, and I was like, here, I'm like, I went skiing with my family, and I tried snowboarding for the first time. And my teacher was like, oh, cool, how'd that go? I just raised up my left arm like, wow. So yeah. But like the freak that I am, it didn't stop me from participating in gym class. I know what you're thinking. Stories, a cast is basically a get out of free jail from gym. And yes, I would agree. But also, gym was my favorite subject. I didn't want to miss it. I had fun in gym. I know, I'm like I'm a weird person, but I really liked gym. It was so fun. We got to play lots of games, and I really liked the sports, and I was really active when I was younger. Like I was like a fitness nut when I was younger. It was weird. And I'm not really anymore. I'm trying to get back into at least running a bit every day, but like, yeah, I just didn't want to miss gym. I didn't miss a single gym class. Oh god, so Yuki! Hi! Can't wait to see you tomorrow! Yay! Good story. Thank you. Thank you. That's one of my best stories, I think. Just the way that I can tell it, just because I can remember it so vividly. Oh no, Mike Axon was practicing braking on a snowboard, and I just leaned back too far. No! No! No. Uh-oh. You're still here? Uh-oh. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah. How did I get to this? Oh, the worst I was hurt. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, because you were talking about hospital stories. Oh yeah, this was okay. This wasn't. I didn't go to the hospital because I got hurt, but so I had this very suspicious looking mole on my second toe, on one of my feet. It looked like a triangle. Like it looked like a perfect triangle. Like what would you call it? Like an isosceles triangle? Yeah, it was like a really flat, long, like wide isosceles triangle looking birthmark. It was so cool. I was so proud of it. I'm like, whoa, look at this. It's so cool. But apparently there was worry that it could turn cancerous or bad later on in my life. So they're like, get rid of it. And I was like, no. So, so I had to go to the hospital to get that removed. And I ended up wearing Crocs for the rest of the year. I had the coolest pair of gold Crocs. I had to explain the situation to my teacher so he would question me wearing Crocs in class. That was my get out of jail free card. Because obviously I could barely walk. I could barely wear Crocs. I couldn't wear running shoes. So I couldn't do gym class then. That part I understood. I don't think I was too sad about it then because I was just like, my toe hurts. Oh man. But that was so interesting because for that, they didn't sedate me. I was awake the entire time during that entire process. Like, I guess it was a very small operation, so they didn't think they had to, but it was also strange to think about because I was just on my stomach and this whole thing was happening and I was awake. Like, if I looked back, like, I could have been traumatized. But I didn't. So, yay, I guess. And Crocs truly the best fashion wear. They are very comfy. I have seen like newer styles of Crocs and I'm like, would I? They got so expensive too and I'm just like, ugh. I'm sad. I'm so expensive. I'm wearing Crocs roofing, styling on that roof. Heck yeah! Get those poses out on the rooftop. Get those shingles in. All right, take care. Have a good rest, and thank you. Yeah, I have some stuff to pick up tomorrow before I leave for the convention. I have to get a couple more snackage things, and maybe some water bottles. Like, I'm gonna bring like some refillable ones, but I think I should also just have like some disposable water bottles just on hand, just in case. I don't want to run into the dehydration situation. Hydrate or dihydrate. So yeah, I gotta make sure I'm all ready for that. I think what I'm gonna try and do, I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to do this, but I'm gonna try. So there's a mochi donut shop that I discovered that's like in my area. I didn't know it was a thing. Apparently it's like a couple years old. Oh, excuse me. My water says hello. So it opens at noon tomorrow, and I'm leaving somewhere around then. So I'm thinking if I'm able to get to that donut shop and get some donuts. I don't know how many I'd get, like a dozen? I'd get at least a dozen. I don't know if I get 2 dozen. That seems like a lot. 24 donuts? I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe I'll get like a dozen and then I'll get like 3 for myself. Like, I've never tried these particular donuts. Like, I've had mochi donuts when I was in Tokyo. Mwah. Excellent, by the way. But I've never had these donuts from this shop, so I don't know how good they are. So I'm gonna eat them anyways, because my standards are very low. And I just like sugar. But yeah, like, I don't know if I'm gonna... if everyone's gonna be like, hey, who wants 24 donuts? You know? But yeah, I need to get a couple more snacks, try to get those donuts, maybe get some more cash out so I don't have to pay outrageous ATM fees at the convention. That's the last thing I'm gonna do. I don't know if I want to spend that much money though, because like I find that the more times I go to conventions, the less there is that I want to buy, because my interests get more and more niche. Like, they actually started out pretty niche with like Card by Vanguard stuff, and then I got into like Love Live, and then like Utapri, and then My Hero, and then Bang Dream, and then Haikyuu, and then and then 2019 onwards is just Argonave. Oh god. But yeah, like the more I've gotten, the less that there's stuff that I actually want to purchase. I did see, however, that there's a few artists that are doing a Hollow Stars stamp rally at their tables. So I'm really hoping I can do that. I think there's like maybe like 4 or 5 tables. So one's in the dealer's room and then 4 in the artist alley. I want to do it. It sounds like fun. And I just want to see more Hollow Stars stuff. Like, I love Hollow Stars. They're so good. They're so good. Like, if it wasn't for Hollow Stars, I wouldn't have even known what Hollow Live is. Like, honestly, there was, it was in 2020. I knew at the time, like, what a VTuber was. Like, who doesn't know Kizuna at this point? But I didn't really know, like, of Hollow Live as a company, or really any big like VTuber companies or anything like that. So it was like the summer of 2020, and there was like this, it was supposed to be like a convention, but then it ended up being like, you know, an online virtual thing because, you know, the pandemic. So they had a bunch of like panels and like segments of like live streams and stuff for all like these different like it was for like Bushiroad stuff, like all these Bushiroad IPs. And they had like one of their voice actors from like their talent agency, Hibiki, and then a VTuber from Hololive Productions. And it just so happened that for double A side and then like one of the other games that they paired with it, because double A side was in development, so they were going to showcase it a little bit. So they had Ito Masahiro, the voice actor for Ren, Nanahoshi Ren, my best boy, and for the VTuber from Hololive Productions, they had what was it, Kageyama Shien from Hollow Stars, and I was just like, I don't know what this is, but I'm here for it. So that was my introduction to Hollow Stars, and therefore Hollow Live. I discovered Myth, and then I discovered more of Hollow Stars, and I'm just like, oh, I'm getting a bigger picture of what being like a company VTuber is, because I was just like, I didn't know that was a thing, really. Like like I knew like there were like a couple smaller companies just because like one reached out to me, but I didn't know there was like this whole like VTubing industry that was like this thing that was like happening. It was like really cool. So yeah, I have a lot to thank Hollow Stars for. And then, you know, Hollow Stars English came out, and Tempest, and I love Tempest so much. I hope to get a little bit more Tempest merch. I've already seen some catalogs from some of the artists that are going to be there, and there's some Tempest stuff, and I'm like, I might be looking. Not too much though, because I can't bring too much stuff with me when I move. I need to pack as lightly as I can. And I just don't have anywhere to put it. It's like, yes, I would love to buy 15 billion charms, but where am I going to put it? Where am I going to put them? So I'm gonna be looking around and make sure when I find the things that I want, I really, 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 really want them. Not just like, oh, I kind of want that. It's like, no, I cannot leave without purchasing this. Like, that's how serious I need to be about my purchases. Oh. Oh wow, y'all are still talking about your broken bone stories. Hold on, let me catch up. A pin? Oh my god! That sounds amazing. Like, I didn't know this was even a thing. Like, I remember hearing about, like, one of my friends, like, parents, like, they had to get, like, staples in their head because they had, like a fall or whatever, but, like, a pin in your thumb? Dude. Should I put, like, a trigger warning on, like, in, like, the description for, like, medical talk? Because, like, there's a lot more in here than I thought there was gonna be. I might do that. I might do that after the stream. Oh my god. Oh, arm bent backwards? Yee. Ugh. Oh my god, yeah. It's amazing, like, you know, the way our bodies can, like, move in all these certain ways. But then when they move in ways they're not supposed to, like, it sucks. Like, they're not, when they move in ways they're not supposed to, and then it really hurts. You're like, ah, man. Ah, shit, here we go again. Oh yeah, I think you mentioned that during the endurance stream. And I was like, if any one of them wants to pop in during my, like, whatever is going on here, be my guest. I can't guarantee that it'll be enjoyable. Oh man. Yeah, I don't think I'd know what to, I think, like, it's like, I don't want to freak out and be like, oh my god, because, like, you know, that feels awkward for them, and but, like, I also want to be like, hi, like, you know. It's like, it's them. It's you, sir. But, like, you know. Like, I want to be cool, but I also want to acknowledge, like, you know, I'm trying to find that balance. But, like, this is if it ever happens, and if it ever does, I'm probably gonna be caught way off guard. And I'll be like, my plan to be cool and, like, kind of, like, you know, my riz is just thrown out the window. Stuffed in my trash can. Get dunked on. So. Caught way guard, yes. Caught way guard. Caught way guard. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh jeez. All right. I think I might end things here. There's just still a couple things I need to do before tomorrow. Clearing out my nose is one of them. So, but yeah, thank you everybody so much for joining me tonight for this short little chat. A lot of medical talk that I wasn't expecting, but you know what? We had a good time. It's very interesting. Very interesting. I hope all of your bones heal and are stronger than ever to take on life's challenges. And of course, I hope you have a great rest of your day. Take care of yourselves. Make sure you're hydrated so your veins are nice and findable if you have to get any blood work done or IVs attached to you. I don't know. Just in case, you never know. And of course, as always, it's been a pleasure, and until we meet again, bye-bye.